Hello, everyone, and welcome to And There You Go, a podcast about life. Whether you're hanging from a cliff by one hand or laughing your ass off, we'll cover it all. And now your co-hosts, Addie and Chad. Hey, Addie.
Hey, Chad.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Seems like I ask you that every time, but I do care about you, so I'm going to ask.
Well, thanks.
You're
You know
welcome.
I'm happy. I
Yeah.
got one of my favorite foods today.
I know.
Yeah.
Would you care to share? Oh, I had some too, though, so
Yes, you
why don't you go
did.
ahead and share?
Well, there's this restaurant that serves bacon-wrapped dates stuffed with blue cheese, and it's amazing.
Yes, they're really, really good. And the thing is, I'm not a fan of blue cheese.
I
and
know.
we didn't know it was blue cheese in there.
I thought it was cream cheese.
Well, yeah, because it had this kind of a texture to it. And then later I realized, we've had, step back a second, because we've had these a number of times.
Yes.
They're that good. We've been there several times. And it was maybe the second or third time that we had maybe we had these a lot. Okay, so the second or third time, the consistency of the stuffing inside, what you thought was cream cheese, what I thought was cream cheese, as my voice cracks there, and I do a little Peter Brady. It's time to change. I don't know if you remember that episode.
I do remember it.
Yeah.
You're dating us.
Well, we're talking about dates, so it's fitting, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, the filling of the dates had this consistency, and I realized what it was later on, after about the second or third time we'd had these, was it was like the consistency of baked beans. Didn't have the flavor of baked beans,
Oh.
but it kind of had that beanie consistency
You are ruining it.
to it. No, okay, but let's bring it back. So anyway, after a while, we actually looked it up online and looked at their menu online, and it talked about these dates that were filled with blue cheese. Yeah. So hence, the consistency and some of the flavor. And again, I don't care for blue cheese.
I love it.
I know you do. And, I can tolerate it in certain degrees with certain things, but in these dates, wow, it's good.
Yeah.
Really good. So
And you even managed to enjoy them while your eyes hurt.
I've been doing a lot of things with my eyes hurting.
I know.
So I don't know what it is, if it's like seasonal allergies or what.
No, say what you did. Was it the the other day?
But there's a lead into this.
Okay, okay.
This is I don't want people to think that I'm just not all there in the head. No, I was at my folks' place, and my dad had a fall in the middle of the night. So I wear contacts, and my contacts that I had were kind of cooking in this special solution that they have that has hydrogen peroxide in it to clean them up. So I couldn't just take them out of there and pop them in my eyes because it would burn. So I opened up a fresh set of contacts and popped those in. So they're brand new, okay? I just want to be clear about that.
Yeah.
These are not like 3-month-old contacts that are sitting in my eyes. So my eyes have been itching too.
Mm-hmm.
Even, at my folks' place, and when I got back here where we live. So I thought it was allergies, and they were itching so bad one night that I was going to put some drops in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went into my office, my home office, and got a little bottle of eye drops, and I tipped my head back and, doinked a little drop right into my left eye.
Doinked.
and immediately this burning sensation. It's like, what?
Sorry, I'm laughing.
Well, that's okay. I'm laughing too. I think I scared the bejesus out of you, though, because it was burning my eyes. And it's like, what did I just do? What did I put in my eyes? And I look at the bottle, and it's earwax dissolver that has hydrogen peroxide in it as well. And so here, Dr. Dingling here dumps that into his eyes. So I rush into the kitchen, and I start washing my eye out, and I'm kind of hunched over the sink and over the counter and whatnot, and you thought I was having a heart attack or something.
I know.
I was
worried. I was right beside you at a certain point.
It was unbelievable. And so to bring it back to the original part of the story and about having dates at this restaurant, and having dates, by dates we mean the dates that are edible, eatable, or you can eat them.
We were on a date.
We were on a date, eating dates, a date, which was really great. Sorry.
It was lovely.
Anyway, my eyes were bugging me like crazy. Now, remember, this is a fresh set of contacts. And again, I think it's possibly pollen that's really kind of messing them up. And so you were looking at my eyes, you're telling me how red they are. And all of a sudden, I hear you say, oh, yeah, I look over and what did you do? What happened? I just poked myself in the eye. So
I talk with my hands a lot.
Yes, you do.
I'm
And we're not talking
very
sign language here,
expressive.
folks.
No.
We're talking Italian style. Although you're not Italian, but you must have inherited some of that from somewhere down the line.
I think there's a little bit of Italian, but mostly I'm like English, Irish.
When I eat spaghetti, there's a little Italian in me.
Oh, yeah. Good dad joke.
See what I did?
I see what you did there.
Sorry.
That's every time. Every time he tells a dad joke.
Yes.
See what I did there?
See what I did.
Because he wants to explain it.
Well, I just want to make sure that people really get the subtleties of my humor.
I got it.
You got it. And you poked yourself in the eye. So, I mean, we were just having eye troubles all around.
Yeah.
And on our date. So, but it was interesting. And we had some other observations. So when we go to a place like this, well, not always, but, sometimes when we go to places like this, we like to sit at the bar and just order food from the bar and people watch. And this particular one, the bar was kind of an L-shaped. It had a curved L. And so we kind of sit at the end point of the bar where the curve is so we can see people coming in and we can see people in the other area. And so it's kind of fun. So we're sitting at the bar and there's not a lot of people in there. And we're just kind of minding our own business, talking about poking our eyes and things like that, and putting hydrogen peroxide in and burning them and whatnot. So I look up, and this is just struck me as funny as all get out. I looked up, and one of the workers was walking towards the front entrance, and a guy comes in the front entrance holding a drink carrier and like 3 large fast food cups or, cups that look like that, and a bag which, looked like it was food. And I thought, how freaking odd is this?
I thought it was really odd.
And he brought it over and he set it down in a table in the dining area.
In the dining area, yeah.
And several staff came over and they sat down and they munched on food from some other restaurant, right in their own restaurant. And it's like, what's up with that? It's just, it looked like it was, I don't know, Subway or something like that. I mean, it was hilarious. So then it gave me second thoughts about what I was eating. It's like, maybe I shouldn't be eating here.
I had not thought of it like that.
What do they know that I don't know?
Yes.
So
that's a good point that I didn't think about at all.
Yeah, no, but I ate my meal and I'm doing just fine so far. So
we're all so happy to hear that. If you need a break.
Well, I don't have
know.
like food poisoning or anything like that I know,
Okay.
So. Well, what else do we talk about? We had some good conversation while we were sitting there at that bar.
We did.
We talked about something about cell phones too, wasn't there?
Oh, that's right. You forgot your cell phone
I did.
On our date.
And I felt so naked.
And that's how it is. You kind of panic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
sorry, I'm taking a sip of soda here.
I caught him. So I had read this article I was telling you about. And I've read a lot of things about cell phones and things like that and how they're affecting society. And that if you go into a meeting room and you set your phone down on the table, it's immediately just telling everybody that you don't really want to be there or you're disengaged.
Yeah, like you're waiting for something more important to come along.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we got to talking about how just attached we are to our devices.
Right.
And,
Well, and we had questions. Like we were thinking about things and asking each other questions. And you would say, oh, just let me Google it.
Yeah.
And then your phone's not there.
It's like crap, And And so we have this instant access to information. We have instant access to contact with other people like that. And so when we don't have that, it feels really weird. Now, if you remember way back to when cell phones came out, and that might date us a little bit, but it was a new thing to have that instant access. But now it's become so much a part of our daily lives that to not have it is, well, for some people, it's almost catastrophic.
Yeah.
I know that when I worked in the addiction center, one of the addiction centers, we confiscated cell phones, or we kept them locked up. We didn't want folks to have those, to have contact with the outside, or, for whatever reasons, a number of different reasons, valid reasons. But there was almost a withdrawal that they go through with not having those. And it was just a compulsion that they had to have that with them all the time.
It's really worrisome as a society.
It is. And there was something else that I read, connection with cell phones and addiction. And there's no causational connection here to this, but somebody was writing about, if you want to understand addiction, put your cell phone away and then note every time you think about it. Whether you want to reach for it to check it or to send a message or whatever, every time you think about that cell phone, while it's put away and you can't have it, that's what addiction is like. And I thought that's a very intriguing thought to think about that. Again, it's not so much about cell phones as it is about addiction, but it really speaks to how we've become so attached to, and I would say in some instances, there's an addiction to the cell phone.
Well, when we go out to eat, sometimes when it's more crowded, you see a group of people at a table and they're all looking at their phones. Nobody's talking.
Yep. Well, yeah, I mean, and I've been to family events too. I remember one of the last Christmases I went to with the former in-laws. It was a big gathering of people, and the younger generation and our generation. And we were all sitting around in the living room, and there must have been about 10, 12 people sitting there. Nobody was talking to each other. Everybody had their heads in their phones. Oh, not me so much. I mean, I was looking at these people, observing these people, although I did have my phone in my hand, because there's nobody else to talk to. So what else am I going to do?
Yeah.
But you see that. It's just an instant draw to your phone in a situation like that. And that's not the only time that I've seen that, too.
Oh, me either. And I have a really bad habit because I am not a happy person when I wake up in the morning. I just pick up my phone and I have to just go through it for a little bit to get myself more awake. And then I'm okay and I get up and shower and get ready for the day. But you don't even talk to me because you know that I'm just waking up.
Yeah, and you need a little bit of time, and that's totally okay. Your body has to adjust to being up and about. But there's got to be studies out there that link the stimulation that a phone provides and the instant gratification, and it's got to be a lot like slot machines in Vegas or that sort of thing.
I see that whenever I've been in a classroom. They have iPads or Chromebooks and things like that, and they take them home. And if they lose that privilege, oh my gosh, it's like the end of the world.
Sure.
It absolutely is. And I'm very concerned because I see that not just children, but adults, because they're always on a screen, they cannot pick up on facial cues and body language and things like that.
Oh, sure.
That's going to be really dangerous someday for us.
And we've talked about, the dangers of communicating via phone and how impersonal it is. And the art of conversation is taking a different turn with the use of cell phones. You think about all the abbreviations that you see use of texts. And I sometimes wonder, is that going to be reflected down the road? And I presume it will be, the evolution of our written language.
Good point.
Yeah, and so I'm you start to see, instead of your, you see you are. So little things like that, shortcuts, which, I honestly, I don't have a problem with, because I fully believe that any language, written or spoken, is in constant evolution. Now, we have rules and grammar, all of that kind of stuff. And stuff. There's some good English for you.
You're so articulate.
And stuff. That's actually from a John Cusack movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the movie A Sure Thing. he's talking to his roommate, and his roommate is an English major, and he's rattling off something and goes, and stuff. And something, Cusack comes back to him with something along the lines of, well, that you're an English major, that's your mother tongue and stuff, so you should know it well. It's something like that anyway. So, but we digress. I was going to say one thing too, going back to the cell phones and putting them on the table.
Yeah.
You were going to put your phone away because we had been talking about doing an episode based on some of our observations, which is what we're doing right now.
Yes.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And so,
so I say,
yeah,
I'll pull out my phone
Right.
because you don't have yours.
yeah,
And I'll write in my notes things that we want to talk about.
yeah. And then you were going to put it up on the bar, and then you thought, no, or was it the other way around? But we got to thinking about, okay, so if you put it on the bar, kind of to your point about putting it on the conference table, are you saying you're disengaged from the conversation?
And the date.
And yeah.
And the dates.
And the date. And the dates. And we decided that no, you wouldn't be disengaged. We were at the ready to be productive. Mm-hmm. That's what we were going to say, at least to ourselves.
Yeah.
To rationalize that.
You know, another thing on cell phones too is the texting.
Yeah.
I think it's out of control. And now people don't want to talk on the phone. You know, if you call them, they'll say, well, you could have just texted me that.
Well, sure. Yeah. Well, I did that to my own mother. Just last weekend when I was over there, I had run to the store to get some things. We were going to do burgers for dinner. Mm-hmm. And I was going to pick this stuff up for that. And she calls me, which, you know, normally I don't call, but when it's my mom, I'll pick it up because it's my mom.
Yeah.
And she proceeded to tell me to cancel my shopping trip to the store I was going to. She wanted me to go to another store and get some things. And so she started rattling off this list. And I said, Mom, can you just text me? I'm driving right now. And I shouldn't have been talking. I was in a parking lot, okay? I'll say that much. To my defense, I was not on the road. I was in a parking lot. But I didn't have anything to write with, and I knew that, if it went over 2 items, I'd forget because I need a list if it's 2 or more items.
I do too.
So I said, Mom, can you just text it to me? And she said, well, I said, Mom, just text it to me. And she said, okay, I'll text it to you, but I'm going to tell it to you too. So she proceeded to just rattle off this list, and then she did text it to me too, but I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But, I think the thing with texting is it has abbreviated our messages to people and increased the speed of time. And something that I was thinking about related to that was at one of my jobs, my phone never rang. And if it rang, it was a wrong number. And that happened once every maybe 3 months. So emails were the primary communication tool. But then the emails became so fast and so furious that, you'd get 100 of those a day and you couldn't sort through those. Mm-hmm. And so people started sending you chats to tell you that they've sent you an email.
Oh my gosh.
I know, and it's just so absurd. And then that speaks to the thing where if everything is urgent, then nothing is urgent. What's after chats? I don't know, to make it more urgent.
Yeah. Another thing with texting that I think is a problem in society is that, well, we talked about a little bit of it, like pressing send is so easy, and couples fight. They fight text. What do you call that? They call it something, and they're fighting back and forth on text.
Yeah, I know
messages.
What you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a great way to communicate.
I know what you mean because I'm guilty of that.
I've done it.
Past relationship. Yeah.
I've done it too.
And it doesn't go well. So.
No, and after I do it, I think, why did I get trapped into that?
Yeah.
Because you can misconstrue so much.
Yeah, you're never fully understood. And again, it goes back to that impersonal nature. So it's easier to say things, when you're not talking to somebody directly, face to face. So one of the things that was on our agenda this afternoon was to actually do a little bit of grocery shopping.
Yes.
Because we have nothing.
It's really bad.
I think there's a leftover tumbleweed in there, but that's about it.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we decide this is the perfect time. If you're going by the rule, never go to a grocery store when you're hungry.
Yep.
We just ate we think that's going to be kind of our meal for the day because it was late in the day.
And it was a hefty meal too.
It was.
It was technically considered brunch, but it was really good.
Yeah.
But it was a hearty brunch.
And you said, I think all we need is snacks. Because neither one of us wanted to do like the full grocery shopping thing. So
Right.
I was all about snacks.
Yeah.
But we get there. We're not hungry. And so nothing sounded good.
Nothing.
Except while I was still at the restaurant, you and me together, you talked about snacks, and I said, "Oh, well, I have peanut butter M&Ms."
Well, but let me chime in on that because we were talking about whether we needed to make a trip to Costco like we planned.
Oh, yeah.
And I asked, do we have enough food in the house to tide us over until Monday? Because we're having guests over tomorrow and we have special food for that. But do we have enough?
Not in our home.
But not in our home. But we have plans. We have plans for food.
Yes.
So I asked, do we have enough to tide us over until Monday when we can go grocery shopping? And that's when you said, I have peanut butter M&Ms. And I said, well, that'll hold us over for the rest of the weekend. I asked, how big is the bag, though? That's
You
what
did.
I still don't have an answer on that. How big is that bag?
Oh, it was in a very, very big bag.
Oh, was it a sharing size or whatever that size is?
No, it was bigger than that.
Okay, maybe a family size?
Yeah.
Not the party size.
Not the party size.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think that's going to hold us over, huh?
Well, we did get a few things.
Yeah, we
did
Yeah,
get
but
some
what?
snacks.
We got some snacks. We got some Pop-Tarts. We got some chips.
And we got popcorn, which might really go well with the M&Ms.
Ooh.
Could mix up with the popcorn,
Yes. Yes. We'll have to try that.
That could be filling.
I think that would be really good.
Yeah.
So between now and Monday, it's Pop-Tarts and popcorn and
peanut M&M.
All things
peanut
P.
butter.
Peanut butter M&Ms and popcorn and Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Quite the alliteration there of snack items.
Mm-hmm. Back to phones.
Yes, back to phones.
When we were going into
the
grocery store,
yes.
Go ahead.
It was a perfect example of what we were talking about.
Yes.
There was this young father walking in, and his son was maybe about 4, 5 years old, walking side by side, and I could see the dad and hear the dad talking, and I thought, this is cool, having a conversation with his kid. And to me, what it sounded like was he was talking to the kid about a sport he was playing. Mm-hmm. And as we walk up closer to the door, we let them go in first. And all of a sudden, his head turns, and I can see that he has an earpiece in, and he's talking on the phone through an earpiece and completely ignoring his kid. And even when we got in, he was ignoring his kid, and then he lost him for a quick second. But again, how important is it that you be on the phone when you're, I'm not going to judge about walking through a parking lot without paying attention to your kid. He was paying attention to his kid.
Well, he was actually holding on to the back of the kid's shirt to keep him by him.
But I thought, what a beautiful moment that you're out, father and son out for an outing, and you're talking about sports or something like that, and here he is on his phone.
I see that at restaurants a lot. Parents on their phone and the child's just sitting there with kind of like pleading eyes. Just notice my existence. It's kind of like that.
Mm-hmm. What else did we do today?
Well, I was on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes. And speaking of phones and computers and whatever, I was on Facebook and I found a post that I thought was really funny. It says, "Sometimes I wonder if all of this is happening because I didn't forward that message to 10 other people." I thought that was funny enough to post.
So have you ever done that? Followed through on one of those and sent to...
At first, when I first started doing it, looking on Facebook, it would actually make me feel guilty to pass those without doing something. But I think I only maybe did it once or twice and thought, I really don't think anything's going to happen to me.
No. Well, it hasn't happened yet. Well,
No.
unless you count the 80 some odd dollar tank of gas that you put into your car.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that horrendous?
$84.67
Now,
or something like that.
And I say that knowing that there are other people in other parts of the country that are paying a lot more than us.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts. Anyway.
It was up to the highest rate yesterday was over $5 premium.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
But anyway, I was also, as I'm looking at Facebook, there's these quizzes. And they're so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I wrote some down.
Oh, goody. This will be fun.
Okay, so the first one is, did you get your personality from your mom or dad? Touch the brick.
Touch the brick.
Touch the brick to get your answer.
Here, let me touch a brick. I'm reaching over to the wall of our loft here because we have brick walls. So I touched the brick. What? Nothing happened.
No. It's on Facebook, the picture of the brick. Okay,
I know.
All right.
I don't have the Facebook up in front of me. The Facebook. That's like the cancer or the diabetes, as my daughter would say.
The COVID.
The COVID. Yes, the Facebook. Okay, so you pick one and you touch it. What happens?
It gives you an answer.
Okay, do you have it up? Can you push the brick for me?
I think I already put it away. I already. Yeah.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I can look.
No,
I guess,
that's okay.
But there's another one. Touch the eye. There was a picture of an eye. Speaking of eyes.
Well, you did that earlier at the restaurant.
Yes, I did. Touch the eye and see your core trait.
Ooh, my core trait.
Yeah. Or tap a taco and see your future reading.
Tap a taco.
Tap a taco.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say I'd rather tap a keg, but I'm in recovery, so can't do that.
No can do.
No can do.
Then I went to another site that has questions too, and so this one just asks the question, but you tap it to get your answer the same thing. It just doesn't tell you to. So there were two of them I saw. Which of the 7 dwarfs are you? Like, who thinks this stuff up?
Is Sleazy one of those dorks? Dwarfs?
Well, I want that job. I want the job of doing Facebook quizzes because I could think this stuff up.
Oh, I'm sure you could, but my question is, how did you find it? It's almost like you went on a hunt for all of these.
No, I've seen them so many times before, and once in a while I'll take a test just because it's so funny, and so they come up on your feed if you ever try to take a quiz or a test. Yeah. Then more will come up.
Of course, yeah, because apparently that's what you're into.
Okay.
According to the Facebook.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, Addie.
What would you look like as a fairy? Tap and see.
Oh my! Really?
Really? I want the job. Somebody hire me.
Well, first of all, I want to know their definition of a fairy.
I know.
Is it like all sparkle and glitters, or what is it? Because I don't know.
I think it's probably.
So what did you have to?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask. If the one is tap a taco, what are you tapping to find out if you're a fairy? They got like a magic wand or something there, or?
No, that's the other one where they don't have like tap a taco or tap a brick or whatever. They just say the question and then you tap the picture, like the picture of the 7 dwarfs.
I think this would be fun to go out and find a bunch of those and actually do them on a podcast.
I think so.
So let's jot that down, and because I would love to tap a taco because I like me some tacos.
Me too.
That's just wild. So
it is.
So anyway, that was kind of at the end of the day. Or do you have more to say?
I have one more thing to
Oh,
say.
well, please, go for it. Go for it.
You weren't with me, but I stopped in this restaurant that's nearby, and it's supposed to be a classy restaurant. I
Yeah.
just have to say this because I just have to. So there's a few different bartenders, and mine, he was very nice, very friendly, helpful. And he went to the cash register, and there's all these people sitting around him, and he burps really super loud and a long one in a fancy bar restaurant.
I'm standing here with my mouth agape. I'm just very surprised at that.
I don't know. After today, I don't know what would surprise me in a restaurant.
Well, between you poking yourself in the eye, the people ordering food from another restaurant, or the belting bartender, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, I had to get that in because.
Oh my God. Well, how did other people react, or did they react at all?
I didn't look. I reacted.
What did you do?
My mouth was agape.
Oh my gosh. Well, sweetie, takes all kinds in this world. It takes a whole bunch of craziness to make this world go round.
Yeah. And there you go. And Chad.
Yes, Addie.
Tapataco.